Your year off with a clean kitchen slate. We say now is the great time, the best time to clear out the junk and get your life and your home back on track, back in a hum. And we believe the best place to start really is in the kitchen. It's the one space everyone in the house uses every day. So today we're sharing the 4 biggest kitchen trouble spots and easy ways to keep those trouble spots organized. Maria Eckersley is here with a system she says is sure to keep things running like clockwork all year long. I have not previewed your ideas yet. Okay. I have not cheated. However, my producer tells me I can expect 2 things. Mind-blowing.
Oh, well, no pressure.
She says these ideas are totally going to overhaul the kitchen, and these aren't quick fixes from what I understand. These are long-term solutions.
These are like kid combating solutions. So I designed all of these to be like any kid could come into my kitchen and find their way around, and you know, the neighbor kids can come over. That's what it's designed to do. Everything's indestructible.
You want it to be that way.
Yes,
and you want
I want kids coming over, so.
And you want it to be natural. You want there to be a flow in that crazy busy section of the house. So we said 4 kitchen trouble spots. What's trouble spot number 1?
Okay, we're going to start with the cupboards. The cupboards. Those are big. Everybody has cupboards, right? So one of my big tips is to use every square inch of cupboard space. So
okay, like what?
A lot of square footage happens on the cupboard doors, so you hate to waste it. So I have all of our spices on the cupboard doors. If you'll notice, you've got these cute little magnetic tins to hold things. I put my pot holders on there, anything that I can stick on a door.
So you've magnetized the inside of your cupboard doors.
Yeah, you know the job chart I did with just that steel that I used for a job chart? I took that same remnant and I just hot glued it inside my cupboard door.
Okay, that
so
is
that I
genius.
could stick things to it.
Does it bump up against what's stacked inside the actual cupboard?
No, that's what's great about it. Most cupboards actually have a little bit of give right there. So you'll see on the photos that I put some cute paper between that shows me where the cupboard shelf is, because you don't want to run into your cupboard shelf. But everything else, they go right in. I mean, it's a perfect solution.
So the galvanized steel works for the magnet option, but you've got some hooks down front too.
Yeah, these are great for your cupboard doors. So I hang all kinds of things like beater whisks and these cute pot holders. Anything that you tend to grab each day, those can go on your cupboard doors.
I think a lot of us fit into this bucket. We think our cupboards have a door for a reason. No one's gonna see inside, so it doesn't matter what it looks like, but you believe that if it looks good, you'll actually be more motivated to keep it up.
Yes, well, and I feel like my kids have to do the dishes, and I need them to put them away in the right places. So most of these solutions have to do with my kids being able to do some of the work and me being able to find it the next day.
Do you recontain items in your cupboard? I know a lot of people are into recontaining.
All the time. So I like to ditch almost all exterior packaging. So you'll see on these over here that I take out all kinds of cardboard that comes, you know, around everything. So this is cereal because I can't see quantities. So I don't eat cereal very often, but I need to know if we're running out. So if I have it in a clear container, I can spin the little lazy Susan and know exactly how much we have. Same thing with flour and sugar. I also don't like how most boxes don't stack very well. So if you have things like baking soda and cornstarch that you need on hand, but they don't stack very well because they're all different shapes and sizes. So I put them in little clear containers with the labels so that they easily stack in my pantry. They're good to go. Okay, so that's my whole baking cupboard.
It looks amazing. Like that's the baking cupboard that dreams are made of.
Right above my mixer. It's perfect.
All of our hearts just let out a happy sigh, dreaming that that could be our cupboard one day, and I guess it can with these tips.
It can.
Let's move on to drawers. A lot of us save Ziplocs and other bags inside of our drawers. Any solutions to keep it from looking like a huge mess?
Yeah, so again, you don't have very much space, but we need all different kinds of sizes of Ziploc bags, right? Because you have all different jobs. So I just got, this is a utensil tray that I have taken all the Ziploc bags, again, out of their cardboard, and I just shove them in there.
Okay, what?
I know, right? And these are all the different sizes that we use in a day. And then there's just rubber bands to keep them in place so that you can easily just, oh, sorry, those are bundled up.
Because those cardboard flimsy containers,
they're the worst.
Get so, I mean, the tops are coming off, they're spilling out everywhere. This is genius.
And it just makes it so now I only need 12 inches of space instead of like a whole drawer. I mean, a lot of our drawers are wider, and anyway, this can find a whole bunch of messy things into one neat little package.
And the rubber bands do the job? They keep everything in there?
So if my kids needed to grab a little Ziploc bag, they just grab it.
Was this an invention of your brain?
It was. It was.
I like
out
your
of
brain.
Desperation.
I like your brain. What else when it comes to drawer storage?
Okay, so everybody has containers like this in their drawers, or they should anyway. But a lot of times these are from Walmart, super cheap, $1 a piece, but they don't fit exactly in my drawers. So what I do is I take a swim noodle, because I can use those for anything, and I will saw them down with a bread knife so that I can make those wedge completely in my drawer. So I can wedge on any side, so they don't shift around every time I'm pulling the drawer open. It's really, really handy. I also like to, it sounds obnoxious, but this is for kid reasons. I like to color code my things that are in those utensil trays. So everything that's has a red dot on it is in a certain drawer. If it has a glue down on it, it goes in a certain drawer. So that my kids know exactly where to put the whisk when they're putting away the dishes at night.
Your little ones are helping and the whisk is actually going where the whisk should go.
Right, so you just need these are oil-based Sharpies. And you need to get the oil-based so they last in a dishwasher. Normal ones won't work, but these are just paint pens, super cheap. I'm telling you, that is a lifesaver right there.
Mind blown.
Never look for the whisk again.
Mind blown, just a simple Sharpie dot. Let's move to the fridge. This is probably next to the drawers, I would say, kind of the target trouble zone. At my home, what should we do?
Okay, a couple things. So first off, most fridges are organized by area. So you might have a whole section that's just for condiments. You might have a whole section that's just for meat and cheese. So I like to kind of tilt that on its head a little bit, and I make bins that are for purposes instead. So this is my sandwich bin, which
so the meat and the cheese.
Meat, cheese, the mayo, the mustard, anything I might use to make a sandwich is in this bin. So that way when I go to make sandwiches for my kids, I pull the whole bin out of the fridge, set it on the counter, and we can put the whole thing back in.
Hold on, that just makes sense.
Right?
That just makes sense.
I need to work for a fridge company someday.
I think you do.
They need to work that way. Because honestly, the temperature thing is not a big deal. When you have 6 kids, I can't regulate my fridge temperature.
And it's a matter of a few degrees in most cases, right?
And I don't have fancy cheese. I've got sandwich cheese for kids. So
what else?
That's a good one. Okay, so another one I love is on our top tier of our fridge, we have a Lazy Susan. So if you can see this over here, just a simple way to be able to access everything on the top of the fridge,
because
otherwise they're
and knocking over.
Yes, my kids will grab stuff from the back and knock everything over. So this way they can spin it around, they can grab what they want, and it's really easy to put stuff back. Plus, if something spills, like let's say that raspberry jam spilled, I just take the Lazy Susan out and clean that, not the whole fridge. So it's like a catch-all. I love it.
I just love you. All right, what's this idea? Okay,
so this is just a simple hack for the top of your fridge. Again, every square inch of space. If you've got a small kitchen, you need one of these. This is just a boot tray. I think it was $2 at IKEA, and it fits perfectly on the top of a fridge. Almost all of them do. It's the same width. So you can set this on top of your fridge. No one will ever see it, but it's a great place to keep things that you don't want your kids to see every day. Like, I don't want them to see Sharpies. I don't want them to see lighters, but I need those all the time.
Handy,
so I like to have that right up at the top of my fridge so I can grab it and know it's there, but no one else sees it. It's tucked away.
Don't you love, too? Isn't it amazing this boot tray fits perfectly? It's like it was meant to be.
Right.
It's like they almost knew what they were telling us to do. Exactly. All right, final trouble zone is the pantry?
The pantry. Okay, so no matter what size pantry you have, my biggest tip is to fill every square inch of space with baskets.
Okay.
So these are, I use these because they're the cheapest I could ever find. They're at IKEA, they're about $2 a piece, and they're huge. They're made for clothing, but I think they work great in a pantry. And then I just have simple labels on them, and again, they're categorized by, like, we have one that's for packables, for everything you might pack in a lunch. We have one that's for breakfast foods. So that way, it's really easy when my kids put away the groceries to be like, well, there's nowhere else to put it. I guess I'll put it in the breakfast bin. You know, they don't have a choice to stick it anywhere else.
And these are labeled.
They're labeled. You can find all these labels on my website. But yeah, it's just a quick, that way when I'm putting away groceries, I can just toss stuff in. I'm not stacking neatly. It's great. I love these baskets.
Another tip for the pantry, you like food storage buckets, I understand.
Yes, so 5-gallon buckets, you know, just like you would find in the hardware department. These 5-gallon buckets are awesome for big quantities of things. So I make bread almost every week, so I go through a lot of flour. So flour, rice, wheat, all those big quantity things I keep in these 5-gallon buckets with the spinny gamma lids. So they're really easy to refill that baking cupboard you saw before. So that holds enough to make maybe 2 batches of bread, but not 50. This holds enough to make, you know, a month's worth of bread.
Well, you're not scrambling that I'm out of sugar, I'm out of wheat. It's all right there.
It's all right there. There you go.
Just say thank you. Thank you like 50 times over. That is the brilliant ideas. And you share ideas just like this all of the time on your website, your Instagram. Where do we find you?
I do. You can find me always at mecmom.com. I'll post all the links. A lot of this stuff was purchased on Amazon, so I'll post all those links so people can just run out and grab it, and then feature it all week on Instagram as well.
Mecmom, be sure to bookmark that and look out for that on Instagram. We sure appreciate you helping us out. Thank you. My kitchen is about to get an overhaul in just a couple hours. All right.